Welcome everybody to Saturday Training. My name is Steve Koochin. I'm a holistic health practitioner here in San Diego, California. And today I would like to do a little bit of training having to do with sales. And also I'd like to touch upon our coffee that we're actually just launching now. It's the healthiest coffee in the world. And before we do that, let's just do a little bit of housekeeping here. Statements made in this presentation have not been evaluated by the FDA. Nothing on this presentation should be construed as diagnosing, prescribing, or treating disease. It is presented for education only. We must legally warn you that if you are ill, have any disease, are pregnant or nursing, you should consult your medical doctor before attempting any natural or herbal program. As I was saying, we have launching the healthiest coffee in the world. And what is special about this coffee? Well, this coffee, the first batch of coffee, what we have is going to be imbued with our special youth frequencies. And if you've been around with us for a while, youth is our flagship product. And youth is it's a tea, and it's a combination of baobab fruit, rooibos tea, lysine, proline, and glycine, the three constituent elements of collagen that produces collagen in your body. They're actual elements of that in that youth tea. And we have vitamin C, for example, in there. And then we have imbued in our youth, which helps to produce the magic. I mean, all the ingredients by themselves in youth tea would produce astonishing results, but ours takes it to the next level. The reason is because we add the frequencies of glutathione, hydrogen, far infrared, collagen, amino acids, vitamin C, and copper. Glutathione is your master antioxidant in your body that your liver uses in order to detoxify, right? So hydrogen is another beautiful antioxidant that your body can use. And we have the 191 amino acids that are the fountain of youth. These 191 amino acids actually make you younger inside out is what I'm trying to say. These frequencies are absolutely awesome. So what we've done is Josh decided, because people love their coffee, okay? So he created an espresso coffee now that has these youth frequencies embedded into them. And in the coffee will have glutathione, hydrogen, far infrared, collagen, amino acids, vitamin C, and copper. The same exact frequencies as youth has. So youth produces fantastic results. And this coffee is going to be producing fantastic results. And not only that, is that the coffee is going to be delivered in an espresso pod. This espresso pod is usually they're made out of aluminum or plastic, and that is not really good for your brain health. Or plastic is not good. You get these little plastic molecules floating around in your body. Your body does not want to do them. The plastic and aluminum they can get deposited upon the neuron synapses in your brain, and then you precipitate things like Alzheimer's and dementia and horrible things like that, just because of what we're ingesting into our body. So Josh went away from that, and he created this pod, which is biodegradable. I'll just give you an idea of how huge this market is. Just in 2011, the company called Nespresso, and we use Nespresso original pods, and that's the machine one should buy, is a Nespresso original pod machine that facilitates those type of pods. There's different types of pods that Nespresso has, but we need the original one. Anyways, the company of Nespresso in 2011, they sold $3 billion of these pods. $3 billion, and that was the European market. The European market for ground coffee is about $17 billion. It is unbelievable the amount of people that consume coffee every day. And now, our first batch of coffee, like I mentioned, is not going to have the collagen in it. Okay, the reason is because our collagen is grass-fed, and it is also grass-finished. That means when they fatten up the cows, they don't give it grain, for example, to fatten out the cow. It's a bit of logistics in order to get that collagen. So we wanted to get at least something to start with. And so that's what we're starting with. We're starting with the coffee, which has these beautiful, beautiful frequencies, just like youth is. So in other words, there is not going to replace the youth. I would have my youth crystals, okay, and then I would be brewing my coffee, and after about 15 minutes, then I would have my morning coffee. And normally, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be drinking an espresso coffee, the pods, right, because it's really convenient. I'm also going to be putting with my coffee MCT oil and butter. One for every 8 ounces of coffee, I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of MCT oil, 1 tablespoon of butter, and I zhuzh that with like a hand zhuzher, and that will be the most delicious, healthiest coffee that you can possibly get, because the MCT oil you consume and your liver turns that into ketones, and ketones are the healthiest fuel that you can have burning in the morning, because at nighttime you're basically in ketosis when you wake up in the morning. So I like to keep that ketosis happening, the burning of ketones, that is, or the burning of fat in my body, until lunch, and then my first meal is around noon, sometimes 1 o'clock even. And that's what I like to do. That's my personal preference and how I like my consume. But if you're an espresso drinker or you're in a hurry, just throw the espresso pod in the machine. Bam, you're gone. You're out the door, and you have your coffee already made. Whether it's an espresso or one of those taller glasses. So that's what I wanted to share here today. And also, I have. My wife came to me, and she usually never does this. She says, "Steve, you got to play my training video that I have." So she was impressed with her own video. I haven't actually listened to this, and I'd like to now actually bring on my wife as a recording. Let's see if I can bring this up here now. Okay, here we go.
Good morning, I'm Andrea Koochin. This is my Home Biz Tips, where we inspire, empower and support home-based business owners. Now hold on to your hats, people, because today's is an intensive, deep subject that I know upsets a lot of people. Let's talk about sales. Yes, I know, some of you are going, no, I don't have time for this today. After all, I'm going to go and do something else. Well, don't. Stay here, because this is actually not a horrible conversation. It's just something that for some reason we have inbuilt in our heads is incredibly hard and incredibly painful. In fact, if you're in the States, which is where I am right now, you might have seen recently these ads on TV for a company, an app that you can use to sell your car. And it starts off with a person wanting to sell a car to a car salesman or a group of car salespeople. And it's a horrible, horrendous, really nasty, frightening experience. And then something weird happens, and whoosh, they're brought into a completely different environment where all they have to do is tap their phone and they've sold their car for an amazing price. The point is, this idea that people who sell cars are awful, nasty, horrible, and you've got to get away from them as fast as possible is ingrained somehow in our heads. Also, timeshare people. In fact, I was having a conversation yesterday with a dear friend about timeshares, or rather, timeshares came into the conversation, and she'd had an experience somewhere where she felt really, really pressured to buy a timeshare or invest in a timeshare or whatever terminology they use. So that, again, the idea, the association of selling something is difficult, awkward, it's not a nice thing to be. And if you meet someone at a cocktail party, well, in the old days when we used to have cocktail parties, and they said, oh, I'm in sales, you would kind of move away from them because you didn't want to be sold something. Sales is not like that, though. Sales has a really bad reputation because some people do it really badly. But then so has discipline, right? I mean, You know, some people have dogs that go absolutely crazy all the time because they don't discipline them. Other people discipline their dogs really well, and you get a fantastically well-behaved dog that obeys its master's commands. It's just discipline, control. Sales is the same. Some people do it badly, other people do it well. You, if you're going to run a business, are going to have to learn to do it well. In fact, better than the other people in a similar business, because that way you get more sales than they will. So as frightening as it might be, grit your teeth and let's work through this one. Because it's actually, when you get to the other side of it, as with so many things, you're going to think, that actually wasn't so hard. Okay, bear with me. Selling is having a conversation with someone and persuading them that your point of view has merit. Selling is simply having a conversation with someone and persuading them that your point of view has merit. It's not about ramming your ideas down their throat and opening their wallets, or demanding their credit cards, or telling them they have to have this thing, because that's what gives selling a bad name. It is simply having a conversation and expressing a point of view that that person might not originally have had, which they now do have, and you might be the solution to the problem. That's all it is. So let me give you an example. You go to the dentist, and the dentist says, or you go to the dentist and say, I don't like my smile. In fact, my dentist on his form, when you go there, has a box that says, do you like your smile? And you're supposed to go yes or no. And then you'll say, what do you think's wrong with it? And you'll say, I don't know, my teeth are all wonky. So your dentist will then say, now we can put you in a brace, which does this, or we can put you in another kind of a brace that does that, or I could pull this tooth out and they'll all straighten up naturally. So you go, I'll choose that option, whatever it is. And it happens. Did your dentist sell you a tooth treatment? No. He educated you on the availability because you expressed a need for that thing, right? So that is what sales is. When you go to your doctor, or when you go to a store and you decide you want a dress, but you're not sure which one, the sales agent helps you choose which one based on a conversation you have. You might end up leaving the store, you might end up buying a dress, but you initiated because you felt that you wanted something. Right, so I might say, I'd love a new car, and mention it to my neighbor who might have a friend who's a car salesman, and that person might turn up on my doorstep one day. That's a little bit of a long initiation process, right? You want to have a sales conversation with someone who has expressed to you a need for a certain product. So another thing that has given sales a really bad reputation is MLM businesses, because in MLM businesses, or multi-level marketing businesses, or network marketing businesses, and even affiliate sales, and at the moment there seems to be a slightly gray area between what's an affiliate sale and what's an MLM, because a lot of affiliate companies are now doing sort of more than one level because they realize how much work people do to get people signed up. And a lot of multi-level companies are making their comp plans shorter. And I think eventually they'll all end up being the same. But the point is, you tend to be taught, phone all your friends, get them to buy the product because it's a warm market. And your friends are more likely to say, okay, I'll get one because it'll help you out, right? That, however, is not a sustainable model. And a lot of family members apparently have become very upset with people constantly trying to sell them stuff. So that's another reason for the bad reputation. So don't do that. If you have to sell anything, don't keep badgering your friends and neighbors, especially when they've said they don't want something. If, however, you're selling a weight loss product and your neighbour happens to say, oh my God, I've just got these last 20 pounds that I'm trying to lose that I can't get rid of, you could then say, oh, maybe I can help you. Would you like me to tell you what I know? Would you like me to share some information with you? And then your neighbour will probably say, yeah. Then you have your conversation. So what is sales? What is a sales conversation? Let me tell you a little story that might shed some light. So years ago, I was working in an MLM company, and somebody had come to me to buy the product, or had mentioned that they didn't have any money, or they hadn't got any money, or they were losing hours at work, or something like that, that prompted me to think, ooh, this person needs to make some extra money. Maybe they'd like to join me in my MLM business. So I said, how would you like to do that? Explained it. And it was a woman, she said, oh no, I could never do that. I can't do sales. Even the thought of doing sales really upsets me, and I'm getting a physical response to the idea of doing sales, and it's actually quite frightening. And I actually don't even want to talk about this anymore. And when something or other happened when I was a kid, and I got really upset by something, I decided salespeople were horrible and I didn't want to be a salesperson. And when I tried to buy a car, I ended up buying the wrong one because the car salesman was such a horrible bully, and I just hate sales and it's absolutely horrible and I'm never ever going to do it, and I'd rather starve than have to sell something to somebody. And I said, wow. Well, you've certainly sold me on the idea that you don't want to sell anything. Think about that for a minute. In a sales conversation, the sale is always made. In other words, an idea goes from one person to the other person, always. Sometimes it ends up with the other person going, that's brilliant. Sometimes it ends up with the other person going, you are the stupidest idiot on earth. But the point is, a point of view was passed from one person to another. So her point of view was that she would rather starve than sell something to somebody. I got it. At the end of the conversation, I was absolutely clear that that was her viewpoint. She had sold her idea to me. I had failed to sell my idea to her. But in that conversation, an idea had been sold. I'll give you another example of a conversation. When my daughter was 2, I introduced her to broccoli, and she was like, what is this? It's green. And I said, it's broccoli. And she ate it, and she said, I like broccoli. Now, occasionally, meanwhile she's 14, we have a conversation in which I say, would you like some broccoli? And she's like, Now, when she was 2, I actually recorded a video of her saying, I like broccoli. So I occasionally play that to her now and say, look how cute you were when you said I like broccoli. I didn't record it because I thought that in years to come I could throw it back in her face. It was just very, very cute. And I want my kid to eat some greens. So I have to get my viewpoint about broccoli's good, broccoli's nice, remember you used to like it, over to my 14-year-old teenager so that I can get her to agree to eat it, right? It's a sale. One day, some guy is going to come up to my daughter and say, would you like to go out with me? And then goodness knows what other kinds of things he's going to ask. He is going to sell her on the idea of going out with him, etc., etc., etc. And then maybe one day he'll sell her on the idea of marrying him, right? Same thing. She might at the beginning be totally in agreement with the idea, in which case it's an easy sell. Just like if I decide I want a green sports car and I go to a dealership and they happen to have the green sports car that is affordable, it's an easy sell. In fact, the agent didn't even need to be there. I would have gone in and bought it anyway. Same difference. And I'm sure that happens. So don't be afraid of sales. Don't be frightened of talking to somebody, Because if you've got something, if you've got an answer or a product or a solution of some kind, a strategy, a system, software, anything that solves a problem for somebody else, they want it. You don't have to ram it down their throats. They want it. All you have to do is show them that you have the solution to that problem. Easy. See, that's it. So what problem do you solve? What problem does your business solve? We've talked about this before, and I'm really happy to talk about it again. You need to be really clear on who your audience is. So what problem are you solving? Who are you solving it for? Now, a lot of business owners say, everybody. Well, yes, that's totally true, probably, or possibly. But let's focus to begin with on just one section of the audience, right? Yes, everybody wants to be healthy. Everybody needs to buy t-shirts, right? But not everybody wants your health product or your t-shirt. Also, if you try to craft your message to appeal to everybody, chances are it won't appeal to anybody at all. So find an audience, specific audience, that you can have a conversation with and have this conversation. How are you? Who are you? What do you do? And eventually you'll get, oh, I do this, but you know, it's not so hard. Or, oh, I wish I could do this, but I've got this problem that's stopping me. Or, I used to do that, but I can't do it anymore. Or, I wish I could do this. You know how it goes. Then when they say something that you have the solution for, you dive in and you ask them, would you like me to tell you about what I know, what I experienced, how I resolved this problem, what I tried when I got stuck with that, whatever it is? Would you like me to demonstrate? Would you like me to Would you like me to tell you about something? Would you like me to share this with you? And they will say, yes. That's it. That's the sales conversation. And then you can say, well, here it is. This is what it is. Would you like some? Would you like to try it? Do you want more information? Yes, they'll say. Product sold. This is how much it costs. What's your credit card number? They will thank you because you've just solved a problem for them. Think about how you feel when you've got a problem and somebody comes along and says, hey, I can solve that for you. Do you go, oh, no, you're a horrible salesperson? No, you don't. You say, really? You can help me? Oh, thank goodness for that. Right? So sales is not about forcing someone to do something they don't want to do. Sales is about solving a problem for somebody. And when people have problems, they need help. They're looking for solutions. They're looking for support. So where do you have these conversations? Wherever you are. Wherever you are. If it happens to be a family barbecue, have it there. If you happen to be standing in line at the checkout and you can talk over the 6-foot difference space, have it there. If you bump into the parent of one of your kids' school friends or something, have it there. If you're in a Facebook group, have it there. If you're on LinkedIn messaging somebody or on one of these Zoom networking events that you can go to, have it there. Don't be the person, and I've said this 1,000 times and I'm going to say it 1,000 more times because there's still people out there doing it. Don't be the person who bullies people by saying, this is my product, you need to buy it because it will help you do this. No, that's the wrong conversation. Those are the conversations that have given sales a bad name. The conversation is, what problem are you experiencing? Maybe I can help. Then you find you can help. I can help you with that problem. Can I tell you how I solved it? Or can I tell you how I'm helping other people solve it. Most people who are selling something, especially something they're passionate about, found that thing because they had the same problem, right? I don't know, whatever it is that you're doing, your brilliant thing that you can do to help people is probably something that you were struggling with a lot before, and you then found the solution. And it probably took you quite a lot of effort. And the brilliant thing is that you can now share that solution with other people so they don't have to go to all the trouble to find the solution that you had to go to. So it's your job as a business owner now to go out and find people who've got the same problem that you had, because then you can share your solution with them and they will be so grateful. And you will have that conversation. Hey, hi, how are you? Do you have a problem? Can I solve your problem? Here's the solution for your problem. That's it. It's never, I've got this thing and you need it. Never, ever, ever. Even if they did need it, they wouldn't buy it from you, because there's no relationship. There's no trust. You're just doing the sales thing. So think about how it is when you have a conversation with your teenage daughter about eating broccoli. Or game night, what game are we going to play? Or movie night, what movie are we going to watch? Or what kind of birthday cake would you like me to bake you this year for your birthday? All of those conversations. Will you marry me? Can I work for you? They're all sales conversations. You've had thousands of conversations like this before. Having a viewpoint and bringing the other person to that same viewpoint. That's all it is. So go, have your sales conversations, make your sales, boom your business, have people love you because you're solving their problem. Have people referring you to their friends because they know their friends have got the same problem. I mean, if I want to go and buy a house, I look for a realtor, right? If somebody wants to grow a business or find a business or figure out how to make their business better or more streamlined or more organized or more automated, they come to me. If they want tips on how to run a successful business from home. If people have health challenges, they go to my husband, right? People are looking for solutions. You have a solution. You find out what the problem is first. Then you ask them if they want help solving the problem. And you've made your sale. You have expressed your viewpoint and you have brought the person you're talking to understanding of the solution and a desire for the solution that you've offered.
Well, guys, what do you think of that? I can't hear you. Alice, you're muted.
Unfortunately, I couldn't hear it, Steve. I don't have good audio on this computer, so I was hoping I would get to hear it when you sent it out.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. How about
That's
you,
okay.
Carolyn? You heard it? Carolyn? You're still muted.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I thought it was very good.
Oh, okay, very good, very good. Sorry, Alice, you never got to hear it. I thought it was brilliant.
I think my audio on this computer isn't as good as on the other computer, so I'm using the wrong computer today. That's all.
Oh, okay.
It's nothing to do with you. It's at this end.
Okay, guys. So that's all I wanted to do today. I just wanted to bring attention to your fact that we have that new product, and I'm really anxious to get my little hands on it and try it and get it out to people. So I think it's going to be really. The positioning is good. We have this magic use stuff with these magic frequencies, but nobody knows about it. You see, but coffee, everybody knows about coffee, and we're not asking anybody to change anything or change their, just try our different coffee, and this is going to be a game changer for us, folks, because then we'll be able to show them the other inroads of other things that we got when the coffee produces a result, or the youth. I really like get everybody on youth first of all, but the coffee will be another inroad. So there you go, more tools for you, more tools for your toolbox, for your health toolbox, and hopefully that we can change people's lives out there by solving their problems, like my wife said. Just solve the problems. So I'd
Yes.
like to wrap it up. Is there any other question on this?
You mentioned the original Nespresso machine.
Yeah.
Because there are several of them out there.
Mm-hmm.
Nespresso has several different ones,
Yeah.
but it's the original one.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's specifically the original one that we're using, correct. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason that we went with that is because that's the only one that has those biodegradable pods. And we want to be friendly with the environment. And also we want to be friendly with your body, so you don't ingest any aluminum or any plastic material into your metabolism. We don't need that at all. So that's why we went with that machine. I got mine, I think it was on Amazon, was 100 and a quarter. It works like a charm. Just push it in, pull the lever down, it's in, push the button, bam. There's your coffee.
Okay.
Okay, guys, so that's it. Thank you for your attendance. I appreciate you. And have a beautiful Saturday.
You too, Steve. Thanks.
Okay, bye for now.
Thanks, Steve.
Okay, welcome, Sylvia. Welcome, CD. Welcome.